fresh mountain air, but check the road behind me. This is motorcycle heaven. And for this type of road, you need a sports touring bike. In my opinion, it has to be aggressive, sporty, with good wind protection and comfortable. And for that job, we have the BMW S1000XR just near me. It's like the BMW Big Adventure R1200 GS made love with a superbike, the BMW S1000RR, and this came up. So it inherits the sportiveness and aggressiveness from the superbike and the comfortable riding position and long travel suspension and touring abilities from its big adventure brother. The looks are just like the superbike, but it drives like insane. I love it. Till now we had a 500-mile trip and we have highways, B roads and even very bumpy roads. This bike managed to surprise me on every type of road. But we still have to climb this beautiful mountain road. Twisties, U-turns, everything that you need, hairpins. This will be a good test for our bike. This is the Transfăgărășan road and I can't wait to get on it. I love this bike. I love this engine actually. Last year it got updated. Now it has 165 horsepower. It's Euro 4 and it's lovely. It gives you the thrills of a race bike. The exhaust pops every time you release the throttle, and also when you push it, the growl coming from the intake, it's absolutely insane. It gives you the thrills of a race bike, of a proper race bike. The punch comes in between 8,000 and 11,000 RPM, and there's a spot in there in between 7,000 and 9,000 where the bike vibes a bit and you can feel it to your foot pegs and your hands. But that's not a big problem for me. A bigger problem would be the heat coming up from the inline-4 engine in the city. But I can live with that because this power has to come with a price. You can switch between the power modes. It has 4 power modes: rain, road, dynamic and dynamic pro. On dynamic pro, everything changes. The bike reacts a bit more aggressive. The traction control is at a lower level, and also the anti-wheelie goes a bit off. So you can pop wheelies, you can skid the rear. This bike becomes so much fun when you put it on dynamic. There's also the dynamic setting for the suspension. You have road and dynamic. I put it only on dynamic pro and with the suspension on dynamic. It's a bit sharper, the steering, it's faster. You can switch it from a side to another very fast. It's absolutely a proper race machine with touring abilities. You might say this bike is the roadster, the BMW S1000R with a top case, but you would be wrong because the XR, it's a whole different story. It has a higher stance, a longer wheelbase, a longer swing arm, which enhances the touring part and also gives you a lot of comfort when riding on an open road. I'm very picky when it comes to touring. My saddle has to be soft in order to cover a lot of miles. And this bike allowed me to cover around 300 miles, which is very good for a touring bike. There's also a wide handlebar that comes with a lot of leverage, allowing you to move it easy from a side to another in the city. There's also a good wind protection coming from this windshield, but you have to be stopped in order to change the position. It features 2 positions and it helps a lot even when traveling on the highway. I'm a 6-footer, so on the highway I had some minor buffeting from this windshield. But I think this can be solved with an extra wind deflector mounted over here. I also love that it comes with handguards, and the comfort is complemented by a heated grip system and also the mandatory cruise control. This is my touring machine. braking system surprised me a bit. When I say a bike derived from a race bike, I think of an aggressive brake pump, an aggressive braking system. But this is not the case for the XR. There's a lot of stopping power coming from this unit, but I love that you can use it. And also, there's the mandatory ABS that comes with an extra feature, the ABS Pro, that allows you to ride with a lot of confidence. This trip was so much fun. We killed a lot of bugs. I'm glad that I took the BMW XR for this trip. It's a perfect bike for twisties and curvy mountain roads, so this makes it a canyon carver. I have to tell you about the electronics package because it's very important that BMW comes with a lot of rider aids like ABS, ABS Pro and traction control. The ABS Pro comes in very helpful when it comes to twisties because it allows you to brake in mid-corner without worrying that the front end will lock. So that's a huge plus for BMW. There are also the electronic suspension system. You can optionally add up a keyless ride, cruise control, and there's also the heated grips, which make this bike a perfect touring machine. I like it very much. I wouldn't add up any more things. The price is starting from 15,000 euros and it can go up to 17,500 euros, which is pretty much in my opinion. But when it comes to this package, this bike is incredible. It's almost perfect in my opinion. And I'm saying almost perfect because it has that vibe. The engine comes up with a vibe in between 6,000 and 8,000 RPM. That can be very annoying. For me, it wasn't because I'm using my gloves, my special motorcycle gloves and boots. But if you're using it without gloves and with sneakers, I think the vibrations will get very annoying. You have the power, you have the aggressiveness, and you have the perfect balance between comfort and stability. The suspensions are like perfect. I love them. Even with the dynamic suspension, the bike sticks to the ground, which in my opinion it's how a proper touring machine should be. What do you think? Where should I go with this bike? I'm thinking about Europe, let's say, round trip in Europe, because I know for sure that this BMW XR 1000 can be a proper machine for that job. I'm thinking very serious about this. What do you say? Can you come with me?